Okay. Cool. I just set that up a little bit nicer. What does it look like if I... Okay. Yeah. Lighting's okay. And just checking on this. Copy.
Diffuser right here, salt diffuser.
Yeah, there's quartz and Himalayan rock salt, so it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go get some oils for it, I guess.
Awesome. Well, everyone, I think I'm gonna plug this in the meantime, and we'll be back with you shortly. Call that a win-win. I have to get some maybe an extension cord. Oh. So we just moved into this office. We had a little dingy space before this, but we've moved our manufacturing headquarters into this beautiful node. It's still kind of in the process of being moved out. You know, we got a lot of stuff on the walls. I don't know if you saw it around, but this is what it looks like. Over here, probably clear most of that stuff out, get those walls down, and then put up more of those LEDs. Old production, HQ. Right back around. I got a sandbag at the base of the iPod. Okay, so what you see before you is 2 resin printers, 1, 2, and a PLA nozzle-headed 3D printer, all of which are 3D printers. The resin ones are cool because you program in, you know, the CAD file or whatever, what it's going to print, and then it basically slowly pulls it out of this goo, this resin, and hits it with a laser underneath. At least I'm pretty sure this is the process on this machine. And codifies the structure as it's being lifted and constantly kind of raises and lowers it and hardens it as it grows. You can build the internal structure as well as the external structure that way. And after, you know, I don't know how long this one's going for, 6 hours, we'll have a vampire miniature guy.
Happy Halloween, kids.
So we got 2, specifically because it doubles the production speed. When you're at this stage of development, increasing your yield by 100% is like a huge upgrade. Another one's only going to give us increase our production speed by 2/3, so it's not as big of a deal as an entire duplication.
That's why we got a large printer for that, so that it's actually increased by changing and pivoting to a larger kind of print.
Yeah, you can print pieces, so we'll end up, like we're talking about doing G.I. Joe type characters with our faces on them, and your face could be on one of those too. More than happy to do that.
Oh, one thing I was going to say, everything Ian said was pretty much exactly the accurate truth, except for one little detail. It's technically not a laser anymore. They've switched on this model, that's why it's so much more affordable this year, to using LCD screens from cameras. So it's basically your phone has a UV light in it, and it's just flashing. That's why it's about
Incredible.
of a phone.
I don't know if you can see what Andreas is doing right now, but he's over here.
Yeah. So I'm putting stuff on the shelf. We've got these bottles of alcohol to absorb. I should go grab the figure out of the Sonic here right now too.
Oh, I'll go get it.
But yeah, so when I'm cool, yeah, just turn that thing off and pull it out, and it needs to be wiped off with one of these. So I'm putting some oils in our diffuser because it smells a lot in here, and that helps to absorb some of the intensity. Plus this salt lamp. Everyone says salt lamps don't make you feel better. Well, okay, make me feel better. I like them. So I'm gonna put some peppermint and some pine needle and some cedar to remind me of my youth back home in the forests, the redwood forests of Santa Cruz. A little bit of tea tree too, because hippies live there. And it makes it's easier on your lungs, you know, like you can breathe and stuff like that, and a little bit of cedar wood.
I brought this in so you could show people what the Sonic
that's
header
cool.
is.
Good call. Yeah. Here, let me just turn this on real quick, and we'll do that. So let's see here, light and then mist.
All right, cleaning this place.
And
We're gonna get the
smoke's
carpets
coming out.
ripped out soon. freshen.
Oh, it smells so much better.
Excellent.
Smells like minty hippie. I miss home sometimes, and that's the smell
That
of
was
it.
my nickname in high
Minty
school.
hippie?
Yeah.
That's a great nickname.
No, I'm just kidding.
I could see that
I
though.
hate that nickname.
You would. It would work. Okay, so let me look at the comments really quickly before I. What's up, Eugenie? Okay. All right. So now, let me explain some things because Ian did a fantastic job, and I appreciate he did. I don't know how high up this is. Is this high enough up? Hey, what's up?
What's printing?
Oh well, right now we've got a count.
Oh, so there's two things printing?
There's about to be. I'm about to start the second one. So I'll put on the second one right now. So I push the print button. I'm gonna print a girl figurine standing, and then start. So that comes down, and then it just starts scanning one at a time. This one's going, and then we're about to start working on the third printer now. And that's the sonicator, which, you know.
Makes it hard.
Yeah, well, it vibrates it, and then we soak it in alcohol, and then that.
Good.
Yeah. And, you know.
Have you shot anything yet? Because I need your help. I'm setting up Dio upstairs. So I already took the camera up myself. I need 2 LED lights with stands.
Yeah.
You can one or two. You can take the 2 of them out of the podcast room. Grab 2 of those stingers that are there.
On
gonna
upstairs?
Bring it upstairs. Yeah.
Cool,
And she's gonna pick one of the offices, and I'll light it
Oh,
up.
cool.
We just did an
I'm
episode.
just gonna set this. Give me 2 minutes. I'll
Yeah,
run
yeah,
out.
Yeah, I'll start loading
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Cool.
What, is this a good height, you think, Brian, for, oh yeah, put it wide angle?
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna get
This is how you-
Brian, ladies and gentlemen, the coolest guy. So this is what you get, and it turns out pretty nice, right? Like that's kind of impressive for, you know, so little effort. And then yeah, so we put in the jewelry sonicator to absorb some of the alcohol. It depends. It's less.
Wait, so if there's shit in the air, this can't be in here like this, because it's got all these sensors and crap.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't want to fuck with.
I can put that somewhere safe if you want. Or put it in the box again.
Yeah, we should put it in the box. We'll take it to the podcast room for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll be back, Andreas.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna just. I mean, it turns out so nice. I'm pretty happy with how this guy looks. It's very like a ruby. So that's cool. I'm gonna leave him right here for now. I'll put him over here with these guys. And I already started printing the girl. I kind of wanted to print another Tartarian tower, but that's every time I see Brian, the first thing I think is to print a lady. That's what he likes. Brian's the coolest boss, by the way. He worked on a bunch of movies. You probably saw My Big Fat Greek Wedding and what's the other one? Adam and Steve and some stuff like that. So he's done a lot of cool stuff. But he did like a 4K movie. He just quit the business, went around the world, made a bunch of like stock footage, and he's like, he's like, I haven't seen a lot of people in the last few years. I've just been traveling around meeting random people and going to the playa and like the Meseta and like hiking with a camera. I'm like, oh yeah, who would understand? So it's pretty cool. It's like, I have an idea. Let's get a bunch of kids from the community and build like a place. So he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we got this one, and then he helped us get the bigger one. And the bigger one, I should move this over just a little bit more. There you go. Cool. So the bigger one we're about to do right now. So I had to set this thing up, and like a lot of people, when they do 3D printing, they like the first thing they want to buy is like a plastic case around their 3D printer, which is like super counterintuitive, right? Because you can print a case. So this guy is the best of both worlds. Nice metal frame, but really the printer itself is just like a drive shaft with a flat phone and a piece of, like another piece that comes down and stamps on it. So when I got this one, I was trying to figure out what's the cheapest I can get, what's the biggest I can get, that will work pretty well for our needs. And what I found was Creality. So Creality is a company that's, I think they're from Japan and China. But they specialize, let me see here, where this was, I think the metal is from Japan, yeah? Yeah, so, I mean, so between, I think it's probably produced in Shenzhen, like everything is. But, like, the company is, like, a Japanese-style company. And a lot of 3D printers out of China right now in Shenzhen are, like, the ones to get. Because this is what they're dealing with all the time. So, the main things I'm looking for when I'm getting, like, a big guy like this you want solid bars. These are rail bars like you would use in a CNC. These don't bend. They're not round bar. A lot of the 3D printers use shoddy material. It's a bummer. Close that. So this guy has these very straight, squared rails that have been machined aluminum. It's very nice. This also has a heated bed, which is imperative if you're going to do ABS plastic. So if you're going to print anything that's not out of polylactic acid is what most of the vegetable oil stuff is. But these guys is kind of more like an ABS. So we're using ABS for things that are going to last a long time. Generally, if you're going to print something that's biodegradable and you want it to only last a little while and it doesn't matter, you want kids to be able to chew on it, you're going to use PLA because it's just an easier. Polylactic acid comes from cornstarch usually. It can be from anything, but that's what they're selling. And ABS is like a real styrene. You don't want what is it? I forget. Allobutyl styrene. Butyl styrene. I'll find you the actual word. Someone will please type it in. But that's what they're printing guns and and like milk cartons and whatever out of. It's like the non-BPA free stuff. So today we're not going to deal with that. We're just going to go along and do a PLA print. But I'm setting it up using the bed so that when we do an ABS print, it'll all be ready to go. And we're going to set up a fan. Eventually I'm going to move this closer to the other door because I don't think they understand yet how fumes smell from melted plastic, but they're pretty bad. So you should always wear gloves when you're doing this. I don't. So, but just always wash your hands with alcohol afterwards because if you get it on like the lid of a cup, it's gonna ruin it. It tastes like 3D printer resin the rest of your life, and it's like the printer resin touch. So it's much better to wear gloves if you can just get a bunch of gloves and stuff. Me, I've just been playing with plastic resin too long, so I don't really do that anymore. But you should and then here are some replacement parts, which I don't think we're gonna put in right now. But it sounded like my boss needed me to go upstairs for a minute. So I'm going to leave the camera looking at the 3D printer. And then I'm going to come back. Because I need to set it up. Give me like 20 minutes to I know, it's like, really? You're going to leave now? Our moment of triumph? Okay. There we go. I'm going to leave the camera right here for a little while. And when I come back... Yeah, the future's now, Brandon. The future's now. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this set up like this for now. I think maybe if I just, where do you want it? Like there? Because I gotta go upstairs for like a minute and put these lights up for him. Because we're shooting a bunch of shows. Media Vendors is doing a lot of cool stuff right now. I hope you guys have time to check out. Is that where that's supposed to go? Do you plug it in right? Oh my gosh. That's what that is, huh? Alright, yeah. So this might take more time than I realized anyway. I just can't help it. I want to play with it. Alright, I'll be back.
I'm recording on camera. It's a nice wide shot. Feel free to take a look.
Alright, well, I'm gonna move this thing back then. I was setting it up to leave the room for a little while. Alright guys, no big deal.
Oh, cool.
I was gonna just show them what it was up close while I went up and helped them. But we're gonna be able to get started on this. Now there are some things that I just noticed. I'm gonna have to look at this again because I haven't used this particular printer before. And one thing I see is that this part he's left right here fits to this cable. It isn't mounted to anything, so I'm not sure yet if he needs it to go on something.
Okay, let me.
I'm gonna check into that.
I want to secure this.
So, I hate to do this, it's embarrassing, but when in doubt, read instructions. This guy says, thumb screw, T-bracket, Z limiter. Is that what that is? Z bracket and Z limiter. Sorry. No. So we're looking for this part right here. Like Legos. So far everything's set up, it seems. I mean, we've got, but there's, you know, that feeling when you got a few more missing parts. What do you reckon, man, looking at this? Because I don't see this, maybe it's a backup piece in case it
Oh,
shatters.
that's a good idea.
That's the only
What
problem.
is this?
Well, it could be that it's to attach another motor to another filament line, and that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So I think that we're just supposed to leave that off until we get another motor. We don't have hairspray. Do we have masking tape? There's some masking
Sure.
tape right here. They say you don't need to do this anymore. They used to make you do this all the time. I'm gonna
Maybe
do
we
it.
don't. Maybe we don't need to then.
I'm gonna do it anyways the first time because it's
Sure, brand.
yeah. So
Brett Zimsky says, "Get the fuck out. Printing lounge. I'm in.
yeah,
3D printing is the future. The future is now." Brandon Jerome says, and you're both right.
you guys are both right.
3D printing, 3D printers.
It's coming.
Something changed.
And
We're gonna make
Brett,
all sorts of cool stuff.
I think Brett, you just got a T-shirt, didn't you? Thank you. Very cool.
Oh, you get a Tartary Nova T-shirt. What is it?
Tartary Nova, if you go to the T Public and you look for Tartary or Exertus, or if you go to the Discord, there's a link there right now. We have like 4 or 5 T-shirts you can get. There's this, I don't know which one you got, if you got the Star Fort or if you got the Turtle. Either way, you're cool, bro. Thank you.
All right, so you're masking it up so that it doesn't get stuck.
Correct. It'll be easy to peel it off of this tape.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But there's a chance it's a stick-free glass now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is actually. It looked like that's what they did, but just, you know, like I haven't done this in a while.
It's old
so,
school.
You know, the old school way.
It's like having your house like wired for dial tone, but you're still using a rotary phone.
Oh yeah, I loved using rotary phone up until 2001 when they made it hard to use. And then what I did for a while was I would like call the operator, and I'd be like, "Operator, I'm having trouble dialing this number," and they were like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause I have a rotary phone." I'm like, "How old are you?" Like, what? Cause they could tell, you know.
I'm starting to think that we used to be in cooler if we were on the other side of the table facing that
That's
direction.
true. We can
working
move.
like-
We can move this table.
That's
with it.
interesting.
Do you want to help me pick it up real quickly and move it? Okay, just let me. Okay. Put it in this box.
Is this these are printing, so if we bounce or move, is it gonna fuck things up?
Yeah, probably. Maybe we shouldn't
Just wait till
wait
Wait till
6
the morning?
hours. We'll do it in the morning.
yeah, we'll do it in the morning. We'll have a different set next time. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
I think this is okay. This one I'm very curious to see how it turns out because it's new to us. But the way it's designed, it looks precarious, and then you realize, no, I think that'll work. Like because as long as the bottom plate's flat, but from this angle it doesn't look like the top plate's flat. But I guess it is because I leveled it. It looks fine.
These are basically the same. I mean, so what's the difference of these two printers?
About what, like a couple centimeters? It's like a I think one is a 3.8 and the other's a 2.6 or something like that.
And then this different company name.
They're different printers. I mean, they're very similar designs, but they're not quite the same. Like obviously Elegoo is best. There's just something about that printer. It's the love bug of printers right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Great name.
But it's they ran out. You know, we got one just on a whim, thinking like, dude, that looks right. Like as far as I can tell from printers, it's as good as it is. But we're like, calm down, just get one. And
Yeah, I was
Ian-
gonna buy 3 of them.
Ian's like, get 3 now, and let's start going. And I'm always like, calm down. But you know what? It's funny because Ian was totally right because we should have done it. Because
Sometimes you
now
see
they're
a
done.
deal, snag it.
Yeah.
That's the winners in business. That's how they function.
Yeah. How's it going, Brian?
I'll just set up.
So we're live. You want to say hi to the world?
Not really.
Okay. Well,
I want the Dyson.
well the
Oh, it's here.
Dyson.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was actually nice stuff. What else can I do right now?
You can help me set up his podcast if he's doing it.
Oh yeah, okay, I shall return.
See you in a bit. So he seemed to be okay with the song, so I'll put that out. It's weird having a boss again, man. It's definitely not my normal mode, but it's not like normal. I feel like here I have ultimately so much carte blanche to do as I will, and it's so different. Like it's more. It reminds me of like in school. Like when I went to school, there was a program for independent study, and it was instead of going to school 5 days a week and lying to them about stuff that I didn't want to do, I had this dude who was a Buddhist monk who had been in prison, and he was the coolest guy. And he just asked me, you know, every week, what do you want to do with your week? What are you going to do this week? What do you want to learn? What do you want to know that you don't know yet? You know, all this crazy, you know, like, I don't know. So that's kind of why I think I'm the way I am, is because it's like, it's more like self-driven for that program. Granted, I was still taking community college classes in high school, so I could graduate early, but it was with people who wanted to be there. So it was the right amount of hybrid. It wasn't just completely like on your own. So one time I got in trouble in junior high because I was taking an independent study class and I was reading A Brave New World, and then I like plagiarized parts of a book review of it, and they were all upset. And I was like, why don't you just teach me how to not plagiarize? It's like, it seems like not plagiarizing is just a way of quoting people and changing words. Like, you know, why is it such a big deal to you that they're going to shut down my, I don't know, it was very, very sad. It was very strange. They didn't, like, understand how to do independent study at that time. So things are a lot better now, I think, because you can work with community colleges to learn. Alright, I got the bed set. Set up, this is a reel of PLA resin. Put the card in this thing already. I'm gonna leave the, let's see here. How far away is that? Can you even see what the heck I'm doing really? It's like, you can't really, can you? Okay. Let me move you guys up. That seemed more dramatic than it had to be. Okay. There you go. Alright, and then. Ooh, interesting. I actually like the arrangement of this, spinning the chair. Okay. Blue tape is better, but green tape is best. What's that called? Frog tape? Frog tape's the best tape. But yeah, I mean, this is not the point. If it grips, then I'll be happy. So, I'm gonna read it one more time. Oh, the train's coming. Hold on. You want to see this? This is awesome. Look at that. You guys ever see a train before? I love trains. We have like, this is one, okay, so all the Norwalk, this area is where, in terms of Tartaria, all the trains, choo-choo, yeah. All the trains in history, you see all these pictures recently of like the Tartarian historical trains. Well, Norwalk was where they kept all the trains. You have to think about how many tens of thousands of trains there were in this town alone. In the 1830s? Like, what? Like, it's crazy. This whole place is a famous electric train line. And supposedly the trains of Norwalk were built originally, the Fairfield, whatever it was called, train line, was supposed to be a horse-drawn train. So then you gotta wonder, like, okay, so they were gonna put horses pulling these. No, it's just nonsense. Okay, so let's get in here. Step 1, install, introduction, connect limit switches, blah blah blah. Put the filament through, done that. Leveling. Wait, I hate this part. Okay. Repair. Auto home. Y'all ready for this? Oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. And then this is, I can't have it right next to it. Okay. Good to know. That's not physically possible. What? Who designed this? That's crazy. What? Okay, well that's not the best design. Are you freaking kidding me? Alright, so the way this works is stupid. Like, this part I don't like. Maybe I'm missing something, but it's supposed to be attached right here. This guy's gonna come down, and then how far down is that gonna go? Because it has to go all the way to the bed, so, I mean, what? Why would you do that? It's freaking company. Okay, I think if you just, that is such a short cable. Okay. Okay. Prepare. So what I just did, sorry, is I then clicked on prepare and disable stepper motors, and then click next step. Move the nozzle to the front left leveling screw and adjust the platform height by turning the knob underneath. It's so ridiculous. This better not get caught on this thing. Use a piece of A4 paper to make sure it's safe. I'm gonna use this fucking guy. Oh, that was okay. So that was gentle. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. They did a really nice job making that gentle. Train of thought. That train of thought is sheer stupidity. Which one? Mine or the train or the? All right, whatever. I assume you mean this train of thought, but it could be that I'm ridiculous, and I'm totally fine with that. I am ridiculous. All right, so we could use Slicer and cut a file up together, but the Chinese have been sending these with their own files. Wow, look at that. So that's why we're printing the vampire, by the way, because it's like it's Halloween. I guess that's what comes on the card. You have about 3 options: pig, dog, or cat. Well, pig it is. Oh my lord, please be good and work. Temperature rising. God, it's been it's crazy how much stuff you can learn and forget. Like, it's been so long since I've done this. And it feels like college class, like on math. Like, I feel like this actually matters if you get things wrong or right. Temperatures, for instance, of filament need to be like 115, I think. It's like been a minute. And I don't use Fahrenheit anymore. Because, like, I'm all about this New English thing, by the way, right? Like, you ever notice how not New English people are, though? Like, I figured when I came here they wouldn't have siestas, obviously, but like, I don't know. I tried driving on the left side of the road. That didn't work out. I'm just kidding. But in general, like, it seems like New English is totally Slavic and Italian. There's a lot more Italian people here. And there's a lot of black people too. Like a lot of African Americans who've, been here forever. It seems like. So it's not as British of a place. However, there's a guy here who's actually, his parents are from London or something, and he moved to New England. So that's cute. But let me see how we're looking here. 16, 31, 45, 32. Okay, that's a slow heat bed. How hot do we want this to go? I mean, right? What do you think? Read some comments for a second. See what things are at. Pig. Brett's right. That's the answer. Pig. Yeah, the horse-drawn train. Yeah, okay, no, but even if it was me, I'm silly. But yeah, the horse-drawn train. Like, come on, what? I mean, they had 10,000 trains here. Tens of thousands of trains here. All the trains in the country came through Norwalk. Okay, this is another interesting thing I found. So Norwalk doesn't get its name from some Nord who walked through here. It's not the North Walk path. Okay, maybe a bit, but that even goes further to make you wonder about Old English. I digress. It comes from a word from the Pichwa people. I forget. I have to look that up again. There's a people in this area that had a word Namawake or something like that, which is where Nama or Nora, Namora Wake, something like that, and that was what they called this area. So I mean, either there's just a completely freak anomaly where like a town gets the same name over and over again, or we have to start admitting that a lot of these names are just Anglicizations at the most of, maybe just mispronunciations. Like Eileen and Irene, right? Like maybe like L and R, maybe M and L. There could be a number of reasons that this happened. So 40-degree bed. How hot's the bed going again? 45? I mean, say what you want about this printer, but I mean, it's pretty sweet how fast it got leveled. Freaking impressive. The things that I don't like about the printer, I'll talk about later. The things I do like about the printer, let's start with that. Okay. So, first off, cubic half meter. What the heck? Giant machine. Very impressive giant machine. That's a lot of printer. I needed this. Second, I told you already, really love the aluminum. Yeah, Pepperidge Farms remembers the trains. Giggity. Dakota, that's a really interesting fact about Xerox. I did not know. Hold on, let me clean this off. That might help, having a clean screen. I did not know that about Xerox. I know all kinds of little stupid things about Xerox. I didn't know it was from Norwalk. I need to start learning about that. I mean, granted, I never really thought about it before, obviously. So, okay, let's talk about that for a second, because that is really interesting. Xerox, IBM, CTC became IBM, Central Tabulating Company. And then Central Tabulating Company, which had been doing the census, continued doing the census through IBM, which is how they get in trouble for Wall Street and the Third Reich. There's a whole bunch of stuff about IBM and IP addresses. But they were trying to make a printer, and the printer, what's up?
Hey,
so
man.
we were bringing up the trains here, and somebody mentioned that Norwalk's where Xerox comes from.
That's badass.
Yeah, totally. But like Xerox is interesting because what happened was IBM was told they needed to have a printer module attached to their computer. And so they had in one of their buildings somewhere, some group of guys came up with a solution. And they're like, okay, but we don't want to manufacture that. Can you spin off your own company? And they called it Xerox. And so Xerox came out of IBM. And then Xerox created PARC Research Labs. And that's where, PARC is where the GUI interface and the mouse was invented that Apple stole.
Oh my gosh.
So it all comes through these companies that build these little companies inside of themselves. Yeah. So they don't want to run them themselves. They,
Right. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Because we actually had a meeting about it earlier today.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to be in a business that encourages you to start like 5 or 6 more businesses for each facet of what we're working on.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet because the amount of autonomy and independence and stuff like that is crazy. It's
pieces
wonderful.
of other people's stuff and get to help inspire them and just kind of be a silent piece of it. I love it.
Have you seen this guy's sweater?
Who's that masked man?
Beautiful. I'm going to really quickly show them. I was about to show them a couple things about the printer too. Like, so the CNC aluminum, much better than you could get elsewhere. This reminds me of the old printer, PrinterBot. Yeah, sure. PrinterBot used to have a printer that looked like this box with a little guy that stuck out. It was about the size of these old printers there. These new printers here.
Maybe you should hold it. You know exactly what you're pointing at.
Yeah, that's fair. These printers here used to have a box attached to them, and then it would come up on a rail, and you could print literally in an airplane stall. Apparently, the PrinterBot guy did. So I really liked my PrinterBot, and then some kids, I gave it to him to borrow, and he disappeared. What are you going to do? But this is a much better deal because we've got literally a PrinterBot style box that's why I liked it. I was like, okay, that's basically perfect. And then it connects to a larger printer with the same kind of design. So you have a Prusa style. That's what this kind of back and forth bed is. It's a perfect style printer because all that needs to happen is the Z goes up, the X and Y go back and forth, and you don't need a lot to make a printer like that work. But everything you need is driven by these motors in this box. So this box, it's got Adreno compliant kind of basic software that with G code can then draw a pattern, and then it's like those 3D puzzles that just do one piece at a time, and it starts growing. But yeah, so some things I don't love about the printer so far. It takes a while. That was how long it took us to heat up the bed. It's loud, clearly.
Is that because it's on tape?
Is it coming out? I don't even see anything coming out. And it looks a little high in the back also. I think that the resin, it must be going too hot. It's going to 200. How do you stop it? Okay. So yeah, this must be thinking it's an ABS bed. So, can you...
Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah. So that explains that. Alright, so control, temperature. What do we want? 110, I think? 115? Brett, what do you think? 115? Should look that up in here.
Yeah.
I thought it was set to. It went up to 200. It's so hot.
Hey guys. The feet
Anybody-
pads, Brett said. I don't know if that was out of
What
context.
did you say, Brett?
I'm glad you guys love the sweater. Feet pads. So what were you asking, Brett? What temperature to put it at?
Yeah, Brett, do you have any ideas what temperature? I'm thinking 110,
Sorry, let me
115.
fix this.
I forget if it's 185 though, and I can't grab my phone to look.
Dude, Brett is deep in it right now saying, I don't know if
Brett, I hope you can hear me.
Lag.
Yeah, there probably is a lag. Brett, if you hear this at some point and you have an idea, for Fahrenheit, Google it for me. Fahrenheit. I think, right? Must be. Because they sold it to Americans, and that explains all of our problems.
It would have to be because if that was 200 degrees, that would have been 450 degrees Fahrenheit.
I mean, plastic at that temperature could happen, but I don't think so. I think that we're supposed to be 110. So, but this is saying 185, which doesn't seem right either.
You want me to Google it?
I just clicked preheat for PLA. Yeah, can you Google on your phone?
Yeah.
And then look at what Brett's saying too. See, Brett? See how we're making it all your responsibility now? We're Googling it. It's a PLA temperature 3D print. 100 tops, you say? You wouldn't go 110. Okay. Bringing it down.
It says range from about 185 Celsius, and it was Celsius,
Mm-hmm.
to 205.
For PLA.
Yeah, PLA.
All right.
185 to 205 Celsius.
All right. Well, then I'll try it one more time. Because what do I know, man? As I was saying earlier, is like this feels like a calculus test because I forget like the exact numbers of things like that. It matters. I used to be like, okay, what's the really? There it is. Here's your real life math experience. So we're gonna get the bed heated because that doesn't affect the PLA. It's not really super important, but
And this one says 190 to 220, so thereabouts, multiple
So I'm
sources.
doing 185. I think 185 to start because I don't want to go so hot. And it was at 200 for the ABS print, so I mean, it could have been worse. So Brett, you're off the hook. 80C, 100 tops. I don't know. No, I mean that's exactly what we were looking for. It looks like what it is was 185 though. So that's pretty hot. So bed's heating. We're about 2 degrees away again. I mean, it's not like you need the bed heated, but it's almost there.
The bed's heating, so like this is heating right now?
Yeah. The bed's heating, and then this guy gets hot too. and then that's where the melted extrusion, when it lands, it doesn't curve up, because if it's on a flat surface and it's too cold too quickly, the plastic starts to bend up and you lose
Shrinks,
it.
basically.
Yeah.
So you want it to all shrink at the same pace.
And this is doing it again, right? What? $200 seems too high. Maybe not, though. Maybe I just need to give it another second because it has to feed through here for a while.
My concern is that this tape will be too cold. Oh, it will heat up along with the bed.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter for the ABS, it's different. The PLA is gonna be fine. But what I'm noticing is I'm not seeing it feeding out of it yet.
Alright, printer.
Well, that's interesting. Well, that's definitely not what we want to happen. And it's running off the side, so let's try that again. Auto home. This is one of the bummers with some of these like testing things. Sometimes they take a while to actually work. That's why it's nice to have other printers that are working right now. But this will be cool.
Feels good to always have something printing. Kind of like always having stuff on the auction house in World of Warcraft. Even while I'm gone, I might be making money. If you guys have something you'd like us to 3D print, by all means, type it in, because the more ideas, the better right now.
That's insane.
To the fire.
I hate when motors grind, man. Why is this happening? So, disabled steppers. There we go. Okay. So,
Oh gosh, is all our movement on this table bouncing these around and fucking them up?
probably a little bit, but not
That's
much.
good to keep in mind.
But yeah, I think at some point it'll be better to have them each on each table. If this thing is moving really fast, that could be annoying. But I think it. Okay. Okay, I have faith in you. Print. Now I want you to print. Prepare. Bed leveling. Prepare. Of course. So where is that coming from? This guy here. Is this guy unplugged from there? Is that what's coming? Or is this the one that was not plugged in? This guy got unplugged, I think, did it? Or is this just there? I don't know. Do you see on this side? There it is, yeah. It's just because the way that these cables are done, it's like they're not very long.
Maybe we could get long versions of the same cables.
Yeah, or we're missing something and this is not correct. That's the other thought I had, was like, maybe we need to make sure that the right plugs, I thought that they were, but I didn't watch over enough, maybe. Oh man, that's so precarious. I don't see how that could literally be the way it was designed. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense.
It's terrible. Is the thing's gonna slide back to here?
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
That doesn't make sense.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Okay. Prepare one more time. That's pretty freaking close. I mean, it seems like it's leveled not poorly, so. Alright, one more time. See what happens.
Neat. So is it printing like a test thing or something right now?
Yeah. It's not. Oh, come on. Oh, you're so close to working. Okay, so we're like way closer. I'm actually completely, what do you call it? I'm completely re-encouraged by that.
Yes.
That's good news. In fact, look right here. We've got some filament that came out. That's a huge step.
Excellent.
So next step, make sure it's actually leveled, because it wasn't quite, and I was too afraid to level it properly without scrape. You don't want to scrape the bed with the nail for a number of reasons. You don't want to screw up the glass. You don't want to screw up the extruder head. So you have to be kind of careful, right? So
Yeah. Is it only we only have one extruder head right now?
we only have one extruder head right now. Actually, no. We have a backup.
Okay.
But still.
Extruder. Extrusion alert. Extruding. Commencing.
Oh, that's so close to being what we want. Look at that.
We're gonna extrudite this plastic to the United States. In the United States.
Isn't it cool we're making stuff in America that, like, Chinese made it possible for us to make stuff in America again. So we all work together on this.
It's like two hands clasped.
Thanks, guys. Oh, I believe in you. Oh, I believe in you.
We're definitely ripping up the tape.
Yeah.
Everything needs it. Oh, stepper motor.
Stepper motor. Why? Why stepper motor?
Why so far to the side?
Why
So
stepper
every time we
motor?
start, we have to have it all the way to the left
Yeah.
and the glass all the way forward.
Guess so.
Or I meant all the way this way towards you.
Well, it seemed like that was what we wanted. Let's try this again. Prepare. Auto home. One more time.
Auto home, is that supposed to move it all the way to the left?
It's, yeah. To this, what is it called? 1, 2, 3, fourth quadrant. Far fourth quadrant.
Fire.
Someone could make a quadrant joke right about now.
Quad daddy. Fix the upper quadrant of your body's posture.
Oh, it's so, come on,
Have
buddy.
faith. Have faith in this thing.
It's just so, it's gotta work. It's gotta work.
More extrusion.
It's just, it needs to be, it's just
more
not,
extruding.
it's just not, yeah, it's extruding, but it's just not quite,
It's too high.
yeah. It's just too high. Then again, I'm gonna wait a second and see what I get out of this before I start, yeah, it's too high, for sure. Bummer. Okay. I mean, it's so close, but yeah, not quite close enough.
Let's see what everyone's saying.
Pause, print. Oh, you have to just fully stop print. Got it. Okay.
We did get an ask to print a gun. Vreeman wants one. I wouldn't mind printing the pieces, but you can't print the receiver of the gun.
Right.
That you have to buy.
Yeah. You know, or make yourself.
Let me see if I can.
The real thing is
Center this a
the
little better.
CNC job. You know, if you really want a good one or something, like do it right. But it is possible. I think it's a testament, really, to the capacity. It's more that this thing can do things like that than that they're the best for it. Obviously, it's like not like you really want a plastic gun. It wouldn't last you more than a couple shots, maybe, let alone uses. But yeah, the cool thing is you can't stop people from creating, and I like that. I like that our future is that we're able to, our destiny is in our own hands, and that's really nice. So that is cool, and it can be a positive thing, but there's a very big difference between making things and using them for destruction, obviously. So, as much as I'm like for, like dude, of all the people I know, I'm probably the most for, you know, whatever. I'm an all
Digital
for kind of guy.
revolution.
Yeah, I'm all for revolution, like it all, you know. But is it really the right way to go about things? You gotta be careful. And you wanna make sure that you know you're doing it positive.
I have an idea that I think this is in backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because this thing doesn't bend.
Yeah.
It bends easier this way.
You can. Yeah, exactly. So you can have the screen facing the other direction.
Gosh. Did I not level it? Of course I didn't level it. This is the beginning of something.
Whoa.
And then yeah, so.
I love that. It reminds me of Atari.
Yeah, it sounds like Flight of the Bumblebee.
Oh, it's
Very.
Someone that must be somewhat intentional.
Wagner, man. Yeah, I wonder
Maybe
if they.
not, but I love it.
I wonder if they know.
Let's see if it repositions itself automatically because it hasn't been.
Yeah.
This thing isn't repositioning.
Right, I need to re-level. I think so.
People are telling us a bunch of interesting stuff.
What are they saying?
Let me go back a little bit. Oh, I see. It's a lot of words of encouragement. Redouble your efforts, man. You got this. Print a
Almost
better
there.
printer. Get it flowing. More tape. It's very entertaining.
Well, okay, so bring this guy
Yes.
back over here.
Twilight Mist. I've always wanted to see how these things are set up. Anyway, imagine how much harder it is for those 3D printing, 3D making home machines.
Oh god, you know what's funny is they'll never. You almost always get to see it when it works. Like we were like, yeah, we got this working. Those wouldn't work really fast on it. But it took like 6 hours and was a failed print the first time. You know, like, that's always how it goes. So this one's nice to see what can go wrong. But so I wouldn't say it's supposed to go wrong. It's more like what you got to do to make it go right.
I actually went down to Mark Sokol's quantum physics laboratory with Jeremy,
Yeah.
and we did a failed experiment. We just didn't have the right machine, and I didn't record the failure. And in retrospect, we're all like, we should have recorded the failure, because scientific failures and engineering failures are as important as successes a lot of times.
Absolutely.
You need to see what you did wrong so that you can not do that again.
I don't think it's dragging. I think so. Oh, that's good. Okay. I believe in you. I believe in love.
Maybe I'll print a fork with my name on it.
Yes. Useful. A fork to eat with? Yeah. I mean, plastic, so I would use the PLA to do it. Yeah, I guess that'd be cool.
Stuff with the brand.
Mm-hmm. You could make something you could stamp, you know, with.
Oh, we gotta make injection molding.
Yeah.
Can you print like 4 forks at a time?
Yeah. This is a loud mouth, this guy here. Oh, you just don't want to go lower, do you? Okay, so this isn't really lowering it, is what I'm learning. Disable stepper. Come over here. They're welcome. Let's get you out of here first. So I can pull you out. There we go. And then. Okay, and then let's read this one more time aloud, shall we? Prepare auto home, waiting for nozzle to move to the left front of the platform. Prepare disable steppers, close stepper, release motor. Move the nozzle, the front left leveling screw. Move, this is a Chinglish, by the way. Like when they write things in Chinese, it gets translated into non-English, so it's kind of confusing. Move the nozzle, the front left leveling screw. Adjust the platform height by turning the knob underneath. Okay, so turning the knob underneath. Where's that, big boy?
Okay, here we go. Knobs are getting turned, you guys. Fucking turn that knob.
I will. You gonna? Alright, let's do this one. This one, the right size, eh? Nope. Too big, so.
Allow me to.
Next one down. That might be the right one. You might have gone right for the right one. First try. Nope, nope. A little bit bigger. Is there a bigger one?
one. So I
Slightly
guess it
bigger.
would be this one.
There's no middle ground? No middle ground, is there?
Negative.
Alright, this should work then. Yep, okay.
I thought Herb the handyman was going to do all this for us.
I know! That's kind of a bummer. I was like, bro.
We paid a dude to come out and help us set it up, but he basically just opened it and clicked things into place and then left.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Yeah,
Herb,
nice
I
guy.
mean, you're welcome back. Just
Yeah.
thought that we'd have something printing by the time he left.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking we were paying for. I was like, Okay, so then. Do you think we need these guys underneath the thing
In what?
to bring this up and down more instead of
The
bringing?
knob that they're talking about?
Yeah, maybe that's what we're
Maybe
supposed to
it's
do.
these.
Okay, guys, we're gonna turn this thing on its side. Can you hold this up for a second?
Yeah.
Man, this is gnarly. Why would we want to
Careful,
do
you're gonna
this?
rest it on that video.
Let's.
Oh, yeah, go under like that.
Hold this up for me.
Gotcha.
Like a car. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is how this works. Which direction do I do this? Move the nozzle, leveling screw, front left leveling screw, adjust the platform height, turn the knob underneath. It just says adjust it, doesn't say how.
Breaks it.
It is lifting it up and it's pulling it down, right? Pushing it up higher.
Can't tell from this angle.
Here we go, this is helping. Oh my lord.
Get it.
Alright. And then I gotta do the same thing on the back side. This is
Four corners of the earth.
Oh. There. Hold it, pull this guy out
Sure.
further. And then.
Like that. Is that helpful?
Yep, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. One more.
Maybe we should take the tape off.
I think we're gonna end up doing that. But just
Oh,
in the
sticky shit
meantime,
on the-
I don't see it as being distracting from this stuff. It's more that it's keeping the glass safe while I
I'm
move
gonna-
around so much.
I'm gonna.
Can you hold this up right here?
Yeah. I'm gonna defer to your masking tape judgment.
For now. I'll remove the masking tape soon. It clearly is not necessary. But, just straight to glass seems gnarly at this point. I'm not ready for that. Oh, this is it right there. Okay, and then I was like thinking this thing was already leveled, and I thought that was too easy. Alright, bring it back down again, I guess. Because we need to be level to see if it's level. Okay. Yeah. Maybe a little less.
Is there like a tool that shows you the level? There's a little bubbly
So the
water
way it
thing,
works
or-
is, when this thing is level, it doesn't drag against the surface, and you can put a piece of paper between it. The tape right now is serving kind of like that piece of
Okay.
paper that we were tested on. But yeah, let's try again with the leveling and see. 'Cause it might be too tall now. I'll have to bring it back down. Okay, what does that look like now? No, it's just too high now. Okay, and then repair, disable stepper motors.
Show everything. Everything. Just everything. Whoa.
Okay, so okay. All right, let me give that a shot. Main print from card. Oh yeah, always when in doubt, plug it in, and then after that, pray, dear Lord, please let this one be the time it works.
Oh, it's like leveling itself.
Yeah. It's supposed to level itself to a point. You need to pick that point. Oh, come on. This has gotta be. It could be clogged now. No. It's working. It's working. Okay, so now we have a print that's printing. So this will take about a couple hours.
Alright, a couple hours of
Sorry, I meant, yay, we did it! Yeah. Yeah, awesome! That felt like a test. I was like, okay, everyone's gonna care now if I can't do this. We're like, oh, how do you trust a guy who talks about mud flood who can't get a 3D printer to make a statue of a vampire?
Now they know you were right.
Or a pig, I guess. It's a pig.
Mm-hmm. A vampire pig.
Vampire pig. Oh, that sounds adorable.
Did you display any of these to the fabulous humans that
I
are...
showed them the sonication of the red guy. We'll have these in different colors. Like I said, guys, we're gonna print lots of stuff. The main cool thing is we're gonna put lights in these towers, and if you're interested in griffins and Tartarian stuff, you
You're
can have
right.
Tartarian
We
stuff.
can make them hollow base and actually
yeah.
put lights inside
That's
of them,
actually what I
right?
did already. Is I made them hollow. See?
So we can fit little LEDs in there?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
These guys aren't hollow yet, but I'm gonna do it. It just takes a while to fully hollow them.
You're going to hollow them out?
Yeah, I designed them that way. Like, after you get the Thingiverse design, you can then go in and do infill. So an infill is 30% density. So it has 70% hollow. And that you can make it in honeycomb or squares or circles. Like, it just fills up like bubbles and prints like spaces between the filament. So that you can make room for lights. So what I want to do is we're going to release these guys with lights in them, and I'm also going to do, like, you remember those dinosaur things you dig? Not real ones, but, like the little toys and sand like cups, and you would dig them out. I think we're going to do dig out prizes. So it's kind of like those candies. You know, you don't know what's inside exactly. I mean, you can get what you want, but you could also have surprises. So that'll be cool. And I'm going to show you guys how this is working right now because that's kind of what you came here to see, I guess. Is we've got it going. And like I should have probably showed you guys in the beginning, is these are the underscrew parts right in. Gosh, be careful. Right, this guy right here, and you lift them up on all four corners, and then you have a print going. Oh, I'm so happy with this printer. This printer, you know, I was a little reticent to just get something I've never worked with this particular model before, but I could tell that it had a lot of potential to work right. And I think this is going to be fantastic once we start getting to printing really big things, you know, like statues of Ian.
Really big. Like I said before, G.I. Joe, like interlocking joints. We'll print the joints, we'll print the arms, we'll print the bodies, we'll scan our faces, and then be ripped.
Yeah.
Like these toys.
Yeah, we could totally have we could do silicone filaments. We could do a stretch Ian.
Ooh, Stretch finally.
Stretch
Mr. Fantastic.
Stretch Crossland.
I can be Stretch Crossland. Finally.
All right, guys, we're gonna go. It was really great talking to you guys. I'm really happy that we were able to get started.
Any last minute comments before we head out? I was gonna look back on the screen. Anybody?
See what we got here. Live chat, mini fun.
Oh, cool.
Okay, a lot of comments here. Okay, let's go back a bit. Somebody wants a Glock. Nice meta. Print some Starfort models. Of course, we shall print
Beautiful.
giant Starfort models. The ancient plane artifacts. Yes, artifacts, the Mayan thing, I totally know. Penguin, definitely. Shark, definitely. Herb, definitely. Sakara bird, help me find that one, Scott. I'm very interested. NASA style. Yes, this is the thing. I'm more familiar with printers than NASA because that's where I kind of like, between making them myself and doing, the Discovery program with Moffett Field and NASA, that's where I learned about this. So teamwork, left to heighten. Queenie is way ahead. I missed what she said, but I'm sure she is. A glass of water will show level, Starship Trooper style. Queenie, you're a genius. We love you. Fubar. Nope, it's not Fubar. Why do you guys believe in Fubar? It works. Everything's fine. See? And everything's fine. Piglet, definitely. Meh. Brett says meh. Love you, Brett. And then Elephant Mountain. Okay, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, we have a store coming soon. I know we've talked about it before, but I really want to start shipping this stuff out to the world. Maybe by next Wednesday we'll prototype.
Yeah, cool. All right, love you all.
See you later.
Especially you, Brett. Follow your dreams.